A happy afternoon to your Friday Summoners and to all of our viewers once again. Welcome back here. This time we are on Game 2 of the Day 2 of the group stage of the Garena All-Star Championships 2016. And we're going to be your shoutcasters for this Game 2. I am Shinbu with 149 and with me is my partner, G10 coming at you. We just came in from the match between Thailand and Team Philippines. This time, what we'll have for Game 2 is a match played between Team Vietnam versus Team Indonesia.
Yes, last game was such an exciting game.
Yeah.
Team Philippines just clearly got outdrafted there by Team Thailand. The composition and the team fights of Team Thailand were so beautiful, so perfect.
Yeah, it was on the execution. I believe when they entered into that draft, Team Thailand has the stronger draft. When they entered into that game, I believe Team Thailand has the stronger draft.
Yeah.
Considering that what they did was to really remove the powerhouse picks coming in from the Philippines back on the 6th game yesterday.
Yeah, that's
Papi
true.
was removed first, it was picked first, then they answered, when the Zaira was secured, they answered with a Jin.
Well,
They
they also
answered with
banned out. They also banned out
the
the Karma.
Karma, yes.
Zach. For
Against Tamsu. Was the Graves
Tamsu
banned?
No.
No, the Graves was not
open.
banned. Yeah, the Graves was open,
Which
but
was yeah, that was strange to me because Tamsu didn't pick Graves. He instead picked Elise.
I'm not sure if I'd recommend that because if you would pick Graves, that would mean that you would invest a tankier champion in the top lane. And the problem is that Poppy was already on the side of the Thailand team.
Yeah, that's true.
On that draft as
Then
the
again, he could have
draft
picked
went on.
Trundle.
Yes. I'd like to comment the pick on the Oriana as well against the Victor. It was actually a good pickup against the
Definitely.
Victor because that's what Thailand did. Their first 3 picks was interestingly a Poppy, a Jean, and a Victor.
Alright.
All powerhouse picks. All of the core champions, whether you are building up a certain composition, because their last 2 picks involves their I think it's the jungler and Poppy,
Yeah, it
Jean,
was
mid,
Kha'Zix
jungler and
and
support.
support.
Yes, so it was a Kha'Zix. Interestingly, yes, it could be said that having a Kha'Zix doesn't necessarily mean that he will be able to catch the ADC.
Yeah.
But it's very clear that a Kha'Zix will have a presence against the ADC. So at the least you would want to have at least an ADC with kits when it comes to mobility. I would suggest Hate could have opted for an Ezreal instead of the Ashe. Ashe is a good pickup against the Jhin because when a curtain call gets cast, you have a clear idea where the Jhin is and you just land with an enchanted crystal arrow. So
Yeah.
with an enchanted crystal arrow, after the first bullet of the curtain call, actually even if the first bullet is not cast, you have a clear idea because of the zone, the indicator where the curtain call bullets came from. So you just land the enchanted crystal arrow. It's either you catch the Jhin or it's either you stop the curtain call, the remaining damage of the curtain call. But what happened was it was a good pickup. But if there's a Victor, if there's a Misfortune, if there's a Kha'Zix, it's very likely I'd fall back into an Ezreal in that game.
Actually, that would have been much safer. wouldn't
Yeah.
it?
At the very least, you could land. You will. Hate did a good job trying not to at least die in that game or mitigate his deaths in that game. But you could see that he went 0-3, I think 0-4
Yeah.
early into that game. But that will prompt an ADC in the late game and in the mid game to play safer. And hence sacrificing whatever damage he can bring in the game. So if an Ezreal has been picked up, maybe just maybe because there's the assurance of the flash and also the arcane shift,
Yes.
then you could at least poke down champions using your mystic shot.
That's true. But then again, that was a pretty amazing game. But let's focus more on this next game.
Yes.
Game 2.
Yes,
Vietnam
actually,
versus Indonesia.
Vietnam versus Indonesia, same as what happened in their match, game
Yesterday.
5 of yesterday.
Yeah.
My guess would be, it's-
Indonesia felt like they were trolling a bit.
yeah, well, yes, yesterday's game,
Yeah.
Indonesia gave one of the best and most
Heimerdinger.
unforgettable draft in this All-Star Championships. As I recall, they have a Heimerdinger
Heimerdinger in the mid lane.
Hiding Dong,
Alistar,
and Alistar in the top lane. Alistar in the top lane is not a weird pickup, but Alistar with a static shield,
and an Infinity Edge.
yep,
That's weird.
that's weird. That's definitely something new. It was paying off. It was paying off.
It
Rubiel.
almost paid
Yeah,
off.
he's winning
Almost
trades,
paid
but the
off.
problem was
He
It seems
lost,
like
he lost his life a lot.
Ruben is playing his own game, not
Yeah.
quite really synergizing with his teammates in such a way that, you know, utilizing the tankiness of an Alistar. At least you have damage. Yes, Ruben did not build tank. He has damage, but still, you with that ultimate, the Unbreakable Wheel, you could have this survivability, durability
Yeah.
against the enemy champions, and you'd utilize that to open up an opportunity for your backline to deal damage.
Yeah, but fortunately Vietnam was able to cut the cheese there, and they were able to take that game because Ruben was not able to do his duties as a top player. He wasn't able to tank for his team, and Heimerdinger, Heidingdong. Yeah, well, it was a very valiant effort during the early to mid game.
Yeah.
They basically took all the towers because of the lane pressure that Heimerdinger has. They weren't able to keep going after that.
It was really a fun. It was really a fun
it
game
was
to
a very
catch.
fun game.
As I recall, Heimerdinger built up that classic itemization of
Zizirot
Zizirot,
banner.
Banner of Command. So
Yeah.
it's very hard to push.
Yes, that was actually a very good strategy if they executed it right, and
Yes.
they did for a while. But then when the team fight phase came in, they just didn't have a tank, and they just got picked off.
And you would want to commend also the mid laner there of Team Vietnam.
Yeah,
He doesn't mind whatever cheese is being pulled off. It's 10 Echo. It's an Echo mid lane.
yeah, he just ran bottom, he
Yes.
exerted pressure on his own.
Yes, it was on Optimus, and as I recall, QTV as well. He
Yeah.
made a weird pick of Lee Sin top lane.
Yes, that was also very weird, but it paid off.
It paid off. It paid off. Actually, it all between these two teams, what paid off more would be the team that hails from Vietnam. So
Yes.
right now, I wonder what will happen in that game. I mean, all you could predict is will they repeat that walking composition or that walking game
I
again?
Part of me hopes that they do,
Yeah.
because it's super fun to watch, it's super fun to cast.
Yeah.
But part of me just kind of hopes they take it seriously this time.
Yeah. At least pick up that Alistar. Go for the same itemizations, but
Build tank.
play. Well, they could build tank, but if you're gonna go for, I mean, the Alistar should really build tank.
Yeah.
For us, he's an Alistar, right?
Yeah.
But at the very least, coordinate with your teammates.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Ruben during that time wasn't really synergizing with Chuper and Fiddle's OP
Yeah.
during that game 5 of yesterday's group stage. And
Yeah.
even if they go for the standard game, I would say that Indonesia will enter this match as the underdog against Team Vietnam.
Yeah, definitely, because they did lose yesterday. What I would actually suggest, if Ruben wants to go for the Alistar top lane, is just follow the old meta Alistar top lane build, which was Triforce into tank.
Yeah.
Just like Irelia.
Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though there's the double shield buff, but yeah, you could go for the tank or you could go for the Deadman split. For the added slow whenever you connect with someone.
Yeah, and it helps the chase also to get that
Reach.
headbutt pulverized
Yeah.
into. Yeah.
Headbutt pulverize combo. Take note that Alistar also has. It's a good pickup. A proto belt.
Yes, a proto belt. That was actually one of the better things that he picked up, because
Yeah.
you could proto belt, pulverize, walk forward, and then headbutt the enemy character into the team.
Yeah, it's just really the static shield.
Yes, the static ship and
The
Infinity Edge.
Edge.
No, a very strange pick.
That Infinity Edge sealed the deal, man. That Infinity Edge sealed the deal, ladies and gentlemen. And
Yeah.
I'd say, ladies and gentlemen, for this game, if you want to check the standings, if you want to check the scoreboard and the rankings of our group stage, you could check the website that is allstar.garena.vm. That's the Vietnamese website because they are hosting this event in Ho Chi Minh City,
Ho Chi
Vietnam.
Minh City,
Yes.
Vietnam.
And speaking
Wow.
of Vietnam, I think it's Vietnam or rather Indonesia, but we'll have the montage to show you. So please do check out this video.
Jadi pemain top laner itu punya tanggung jawab yang sangat besar. Satu teleport bisa sangat menentukan sebuah fight atau game itu sendiri.
Setiap pergerakan dari jungler itu tidak boleh diketahui oleh musuh. Sampai akhirnya kita muncul di lane dan memberikan surprise attack.
Tôi không quan tâm đối thủ là ai, cũng không quan tâm đi mid khó như thế nào. Win mid lane đồng nghĩa với việc bạn hầu như win cả game.
ADC itu harus disiplin dalam farm, push, dan pull. Perhitungan yang baik dalam manage skill dan spell, dan carry the game. Selain menjaga ADC, support harus hafal penggunaan setiap spell teman maupun musuh. Juga tahu kapan spell tersebut bisa digunakan kembali.
Menjadi subs dari Beyond merupakan sebuah tantangan tersendiri. Tapi gue yakin gue bisa.
Kita udah dipilih oleh summoners di seluruh Indonesia. Dan kita akan buktiin untuk fight di Garena All Stars 2016.
Where do they get those shirts? Those team uniforms?
I think they get it from their respective teams.
Yeah,
But
they
they're
have-
pretty well made.
They're really well made. I mean, the
Yeah.
designs. I like the designs.
I really
I'm not sure
like
if it's like the dry fit cloth
No, I
that the
think it's
usual
a-
professional player has,
Yeah.
but or if it's either cotton. But the design. I mean, I really like the design. It's
pretty
really well
good
designed.
design,
Yes.
yeah. That was Indonesia's video. They
Yeah, it was Indonesia's video.
they- that was just very. I'm still collating my thoughts on it.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I mean, it's it's the pretty standard videos about everyone being going all in and at it. You know, there's a lot of things that a professional player has to carry whenever they enter this kind of all-star match, international events. They have to really prove that there's a reason why they are picked as the best. And you know, for the record, they really indeed the best in this country. You know, but for League of Legends outside the country, of course, there are stronger teams. Hence, there are stronger countries.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make them any less compared to the other players
Yeah, so
of the country.
Take note that Indonesia, I think, has the youngest or second youngest competitive scene in the Garena regions. I
Yes.
think. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, they are the youngest competitive League of Legends scene. So they're not that evolved yet as a region. So they definitely have a lot to learn still. But from what they've been showing us, you know, they don't hesitate to go for
Yeah.
what's entertaining.
Yes, they don't hesitate. That's what I like about the Indonesian team. I mean, they put a lot of character over the
They-
match from
they
game
have
5.
a
I wonder
lot of
what they'll do on this day 2 for this game 2 of this day 2. But again, for our players and for our viewers, if ever you are wondering why we are still not loading up into the game, there's just a little bit of technical stuff that's being worked on the end of the player. So just wait up. We'll be back. We'll be in the game
Very
in the
short.
drafting phase in
Yes,
a
but-
short time.
But in the meantime, you know, we just wanna watch some League of Legends with you guys,
Yeah.
right? So if you want your friends to watch us as well, be sure to share and share the link.
Yeah, the stream link is gaming.youtube.com/user/phgarena/live. So, guys, there's an update that we need to go for a break right now. But once again, we'll just continue with the stream. We'll be back once this technical issue has been settled. For the picks and bans, guys, this is for Vietnam versus Indonesia, and we are your shoutcasters to be for this game. I am Shinbu with the 1 for an eye, and with G10 coming at you. This is game 2 of the day 2 for the group stage, the Garena All-Star Championships 2016. Hold it right there, guys. Guys, once again, welcome back, and we are in the game 2 for the day of the group stage here at the Garena All-Star Championships 2016. Again, we're gonna be your shoutcasters. I am Shinmu with the 1-4-9, and of course with me is G10 coming at you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go into the drafting phase, as this match is to be played by Team Vietnam. Championship Series A, because they have this Championship Series B as well. And of course, the LOL Garuda Series from Indonesia. Both are all-star teams. These are the best players. Maybe not the best team to be, but they could be said as a dream team, you know, when it comes to all-star play.
That's the whole concept of all-stars.
Yeah.
Is that you get the fans and you get
vote.
them to vote
Yeah.
for who they want to see in a team. Yeah, and these are what each region's teams their fans have voted on them. So these are their dream teams. You know, their ideal teams to face off against each other.
Later, I ask you for your dream team, you know, regarding the full all-star.
Of course.
With regards to the world, minus Faker.
Minus Faker, yes, because it's
He's
everyone
like a
will
boss.
pick Faker.
But the mid lane, let's go. So, in the bats here, we have the first iteration would be Arise, responded onto the Syndra. So far, it has been pretty standard, but could be said that there's a lot of focus in the mid lane. Answer to be a Nidalee. Again, it's a mid-centric jungle pickup. Actually, with a lot of kids, you know, if you want to influence mid lane, of course, another
And then
lanes as
there's
well.
a Zac.
Zac para against Vietnam. Interestingly.
But then
Yeah.
you have the
Alistar
Alistar ban.
against Indonesia. They don't want any of that
They're saying, Ruben, you better play seriously this time, man. Come on.
static shield by Infinity Edge Alistar. Well, not to mention the Proto Belt and the Trinity Force. It's a good pickup. Proto Belt, Trinity Force, but still static shield.
It looks like QTV will be going for
Victor.
this.
Well, yeah, there's the Victor for the bans, and now we have a Lee Sin.
Lee Sin. Wow, Ivern. Ivern is being hovered here for Phoenix right now. I'm just loving Indonesia.
Indonesia is the best. The best all-star team. Indonesia is the best all-star team in the Garena region.
In regards to entertaining games.
Yeah,
because it's just all of the games have just been so
Come on!
so fun.
Give
There's
us
Timo hover, a Shaco hover. I think that's the advantage of the game, is that you really don't know what you're gonna pick against them. You don't know what they're thinking. So that if you're gonna play against Team Indonesia, it's kind of a toss-up, because you have no idea what's gonna happen.
Yeah, come on, give us the Ivern, man. 10 seconds on the clock. They're hovering over a Fiddle. That's
Maybe for
Fiddle
Fiddle OP.
It's not even changing. Yeah, you know, Fiddle support is
Fiddle
viable.
support.
Yeah, I like Fiddle. I mean, not as a support, but you know that fear, that terrify is actually a good CC.
Oh,
a good
but
card control.
actually,
So
right
so
now-
far, Indonesia's running a more standard iteration here, opting for picking up a Karma and an Elise for their
so
first two picks.
Karma can be flexed 3 ways, top,
Yep.
middle, or support. So that's a pretty good power pick right there.
There's still 3 picks left in Indonesia, so there's still hope.
Of course, of course.
And when I mean hope, you know, the fun picks.
Hope for a couple of fun picks, but you know, I just kind of want Indonesia to take it seriously this time.
Yeah, of course. There's no problem if they take it seriously as well. They have Vietnam, they have a hover on a Jin, but changes is
Draven being hovered right now.
changes it. Draven
I kind of want to see a Draven. I've never seen a Draven in competitive play
gets
yet.
lucky.
Yeah. Oh my God! It is. We're gonna see celebrity on the Draven.
Yeah, unless
Oh
this
my
Draven goes on
God.
another lane, it would be blown out of my
You
mind.
know what? You know what? Draven jungle is actually viable.
Oh,
Yes, I've done it before. It's very fun, but it's
How's your-
also very snowbally. My
how's your
win rate
games
is
winning?
about 20%, but it's very fun. But it's probably gonna be AD carry Draven. Will be faced maybe by an Ezreal here.
yes, of course, pair that with the trash in the bottom lane. The answer there from Indonesia.
That's a very That's a very fatal lane.
Yeah, a really interesting pick up as they hover on the
Ezreal will play
Talia.
locked in.
Still will hiding dunk. Go for this Heimerdinger. Actually, there are
Nope.
specific counters even in terms of playstyle against the Heimerdinger. And of course, we've seen that cheese. Ruben's cheese is still more interesting.
Yes, I
on
like.
that
Ruben
Alistar.
has not picked the champion yet,
Yes.
I believe.
It's an Oriana for the mid lane, answered by an Ezreal.
Yeah.
So my guess for the Indonesia, you know, you'd want a top laner that will synergize with an Oriana.
Yep.
There's an Elise, so Hecarim is not
Hopefully,
anymore available unless they go for a top lane Hecarim. Vi in the top lane, it's also weird because Vi is mostly seen in the jungle. But
You know, Echo
know,
could still
can go for the
still-
Echo, yeah, because he can dive as well. Or even go for the classic Malphite Oriana.
Or Trundle, Poppy,
Trundle,
anybody
Poppy.
who's kind
Or
of
tanky.
really dive in, be tank. They can actually even go for a top lane Olaf here if they want.
They're gonna go for
10 seconds left
yeah.
for Vietnam's drafting a
They're
Yasuo
holding
being
against a
covered
Yasuo.
in. That
Yeah.
would actually be kind of good because, oh what?
Alright, so it's a mid lane Varus.
Mid
Yasuo
lane,
top lane.
Varus, Yasuo top lane,
Yeah.
Lee Sin in the jungle, Thresh in the support position. Vietnam, they're the ones now doing the champion select mind gaming.
I'm very, very interested if something happens here that is out of place. Like, we get
This
like,
is Ruben's pick.
like we get that Tristan in the support position, you know,
He could be Thresh.
just
he could
because of,
carry.
just because of what Ruben did yesterday.
You know what? This is actually a very good, a good team for a Yasuo because you have all the knockups from. You have the Lee Sin kick. You have the Draven stand aside.
Yeah.
You have the Thresh play.
Yes.
Yes, and if you have the chains of corruption onto Indonesia's team, then
You
that's
can follow up with another knockup.
Exactly.
Yeah, you just land your still tempest Hurricane powered Q.
Exactly.
What we'll have against the
Irelia.
Yasuo would be an Irelia. So this is gonna be
Yasuo's actually.
yeah. If Yasuo went for the top lane, but even if Lee Sin went for the top lane, it's like
And who's gonna be
Irelia
the
could still go
jungle?
toe to toe, but it would be very awkward and weird if you bring other champions in the jungle.
I just love these games that have Indonesia in them because they're so fun to watch.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes, there you go.
There we go.
I'm seeing the swaps.
I was kind of I was
Yeah.
kind of holding my breath there for a second.
Yeah, I'm very
Oh my
curious
God.
about the swaps to be done here. So nothing antsy and weird happened in this game. At the very least, we have a very standard composition bringing down the matches here. You could see that bringing down the matches and compositions here. Let's see what do they have. Right now, for the side of Team Vietnam, they have a poke champion in the mid lane. You know, a hyper carry scaling champion that has a lot of reason in the early game, but that gets covered by the Thresh, of course, in the early game as well. You can see that they might be aiming to snowball early game because Thresh is
Probably, yeah.
holding an ignite here.
Yes.
As well for the Lee Sin, as well for the Yasuo. Inherent weakness for this one, if Lee Sin doesn't decide to go full tank early. Lee Sin, I would say Lee Sin go for build damage early on.
That's
But
true,
he
yeah.
really has to build tank, you know, because he has to scale.
Yeah, but-
He downscales whenever the late game enters.
Yes, but the thing is, Lee Sin is one of the most powerful early game junglers.
Early game, yeah, yes.
Yeah.
But along with Lee Sin, along with Elise. So Elise can
yeah.
go toe-to-toe with him.
Yeah, but then, in my opinion, Lee Sin has more damage potential than
Yeah,
Elise,
yes,
early
yes,
game.
of course. I believe when it comes to engages, when it comes to fighting, Lee Sin has more kit.
Yes.
But when it comes to control, Lee Sin has more kit.
Definitely
Elise has more kit
Elise.
because of the
Yeah.
venomous bite scaling damage.
True.
But when it comes to control, I believe Lee Sin has more.
Yes. Actually, Yasuo and Irelia's supposed to win that matchup. Just hands down.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's an Irelia.
But then, you know, if Yasuo is skilled enough, you know, then that's gonna be a very interesting match. I haven't seen a Yasuo in competitive play for so long.
And the pressure is on for this Irelia. He should expect that Lee Sin is going to be there in the top lane. So he'll be
Definitely.
seeing a lot of action on the northwest side of our map. You know,
Yes.
mostly in the top lane because this bottom lane they have the I think it's an Ezreal, yeah, in an
Ezreal
Ezreal
and
Karma versus Draven and Thresh. Even though
Yes.
Draven and Thresh aims to become aggressive to punish this Karma
Has to
more
be
and more.
very aggressive.
Yes, I'd say the action might go down in the top lane. But of course, the mind games is always there. In the mid lane, Oriana and Varus both are safe.
Kind of
safe laners.
just gonna be a
Farm
lane.
Yeah, it's a farm lane.
But what's more interesting to me is the bot lane because this is the first time in a
Draven.
long time Draven pick competitively here, and Draven is a champion that you do not want to mess up against. Because if you mess up against Draven and you give him that kill, he is just the best champion to snowball because of those adoration stacks, giving you extra gold all the time.
If things goes out for Team Vietnam, because they have a lot of snowball champions,
Yeah,
this might be Indonesia's game.
it could be, yes.
But of course, it's very clear why Vietnam pick up this composition. So they're gonna
They're
enter
very
this game
confident.
confident. Yes,
Yeah.
they're definitely confident with this composition, and I'd say so. I mean, in the power rankings before we start here at the All-Star Championships, Garena All-Star Championships, Vietnam ranks higher compared to Indonesia. But we'll see though. A lot of comebacks has happened
occurred,
in this game. You know, an almost comeback yesterday for the Team Philippines
Yes,
and Team Thailand match.
almost. So,
Yes.
so incredible.
And a
Uh,
clear comeback with Malaysia and Vietnam.
Yes, definitely, definitely. The first match yesterday between Malaysia and Vietnam, that was so fun to watch, because once again, Malaysia was losing up until the moment they won.
Yeah,
They won with a goal deficit, and that's extremely rare.
still like that line, losing until up the moment they won.
Yes, they were losing until they won. And conversely, Vietnam was winning right up until they lost. Yeah.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, and again, to our viewers, we are live at YouTube Gaming. We sent the stream link. We are as well live
On Facebook.
in Facebook. We are live at Esports Garena PH. And the Facebook fan page of Esports
It's
Garena.
actually
And
called Pro Gaming Series.
Pro Gaming Series. Yes, that's our league for our league.
Yeah.
And
that's,
we are live as well in Singapore. In Singapore,
yeah.
yes. Singapore
Once
Facebook.
again, this is the English broadcast brought to you by Garena Philippines.
By Garena Philippines, ladies and gentlemen. And this is going to be the conclusion of the group stage
Yes,
for
today.
the Garena All-Star Championships. Like, after this group stage,
Two
maybe
teams will be
tiebreakers will be played. 2 teams will be dropped. Every group here are composed of 3 teams. Right now, for this group, it is Vietnam, Indonesia, and Malaysia. The other group was of Philippines, Thailand, and Singapore. So only 2 teams one team per group will be dropped.
One
2 teams
team
will be
per
dropped.
group will be dropped.
Yes.
The lowest ranked team for each group. But we are in Summoner's Rift. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. We are going to be going into Game 2, the Vietnam Championship Series A versus the LOL Garuda Series. Indonesia just has the best name,
Yes,
I believe,
yes.
of all the leagues.
I like the word Garuda.
Yes, Garuda. I think that means eagle.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So they do have the potential to soar high in this game and take down Vietnam. But let's see. Let's have the rundown. In the top lane, we have QTV on Yasuo. Levi as Lee Sin in the jungle. Optimus as Varus in the mid lane. And we have Celebrity as Draven, the ultimate League of Legends celebrity in the AD carry position. And Ron OP as Thresh in the support position.
Yes, meanwhile, on the red side, representing the all-star team of the LOL Garuda series. From Thailand, in the top lane, it's Ruben on this Aurelia. Jungle, Phoenix on the Elise. Mid lane, Hiding Dong on that Oriana. And the bottom duo is gonna be Chopper on that Ezreal ADC. And Fiddle OP on that Karma support.
Yes, once again, we're going to see who is more OP, Fiddle or Ron
Yes.
in the supports.
So, discussing the lane matchups here, as we mentioned, the safest lane would be the mid lane.
Yeah, they would
You know?
just farm.
Yes, it's a Varus versus an Oriana, a power farming lane. Probably because they are both melee champions in such a way that they are as well bruiser, you know. But Yasuo is actually a high damage melee champion, as well as Oriana.
As well as Oriana.
Oriana.
But I think that QTV wouldn't want to take all the
Yes,
risks.
but there's a lot of low durability in the top lane. So
Yeah.
what I'm expecting is because of this risk in the top lane, the junglers may opt to target that. But as well here in the bottom lane, considering the bottom lane matchup, there's a message done here by the Vietnamese team to really go aggressive against the LOL Garuda series. But I'm not seeing any health bar going low yet.
Yeah, actually what I think in the bot lane is going to happen is both teams are just going to play safe because you don't want to misstep against a Draven.
Yeah.
On the other side, Chopper and Fiddle OP just have so much poke because they
Yeah.
are running Karma and Ezreal. And as you see, Celebrity has been taken to half health right now. And almost being taken down. Sorry, I don't think they're playing safe at all.
Yeah.
Chopper and Fiddle OP are just gonna be at the throats of Celebrity and Ron OP.
Yes, just landing the pokes, just landing the pokes. All cues of Karma and Ezreal connecting. And interestingly, the start, considering the pathing of the jungle here by Levi and Phoenix, they both started on the red side jungle.
Yeah, I don't think they had the intention of ganking top lane
Yeah.
first.
So
Uh,
it's very likely they aim, you know, the options to influence would be the mid lane and of course the bottom lane. Well, there's a lot of stress here as well that's building up in the bottom lane, considering that anytime an Infernal Drake could go and could fall into the enemy team's hands.
Exactly. If something goes wrong in this bot lane, that would be the Infernal Drake to pick up straight for the enemy team. His Celebrity getting poked down a lot. This is the weakness of Raven. His his very kind of short range and
Yeah.
the need to catch his
And
axis.
it's predictable. If you're the Karma and the Ezreal
Yeah.
could just land their Qs whenever Draven aims to
Catch an
catch his axe.
axe,
And if he chooses not to catch his axe, his damage will greatly fall off.
Exactly. And that is the weakness of Raven. But then again, the strength of Raven is in the axis, is in the passive, and he will get snared out. Oh my god, the
Go
hook from
big
Rod
or
will
go home.
not actually connect. Will also not take the Dark Passage. Celebrity being very risky in this lane. But if he does get all of these minions, he will be in a CS lead against Chopper, I believe. Oh, the gank maybe of the game. Levi's looking to go for something in this top lane, I think. I don't think it would be... Well, Ruben is pretty low.
Pretty low, yeah. So they could like aim for a big burst.
Yes, but then again, one of the fundamental things about top lane is you
Irelia.
never dive Irelia.
You never dive Irelia. Yeah, actually. The equilibrium strike
Yes,
is
that
so
will
very
just...
punishing. Oh, press E and you win, especially under turret.
Exactly. Under a turret, that's like a 2v2 team fight, basically.
Yes.
Celebrity getting taken very low, around 20% health now. Chopper will tank a couple tower shots, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, so we are about
Oh, Q connects. He takes it. Levi doing a lot of damage to Hiding Dong, busting both summoners of the Orianna in the mid lane. Will set up Optimus for a safer laning phase.
And because of the nature of a Varus, heavily depending on his range, he cannot properly follow up, especially if his Q is on cooldown.
Yes, that's exactly right.
You don't
and
necessarily...
He's not level 6 yet.
Yeah, you don't necessarily rely on the hail of arrows
Exactly.
to slow your opponent, even though there's a slow. You
Yeah.
really want to connect those corrupted cheeks. As you mentioned, level
Yes.
6, go for level 6.
Ruben
Top
going
lane.
hard onto QTV, repel by Phoenix. He will use the windwall to
Wow.
block that cocoon. It is obvious here that QTV is a seasoned Yasuo player.
It's almost connecting actually with QTV, but in the bottom lane.
There, onto Ron OP. Both Qs missing onto him. If both hit, that would have been the first blood. But just a sidestep from Ron OP, showing who's really more OP.
And going back in the top lane, you could observe the wind wall of the Yasuo. The cocoon is actually very close in connecting.
Yeah.
But the frame and the nature of the Yasuo wind wall.
Oh, I think they might look for a dive here because we see Phoenix very in his tribal right now. That flash cocoon will not hit. QTV has brought in Levi. The repel will save him. Oh, well, the first blood because of the Q. It will be responded by a second blood by Ruben onto QTV. But that was pretty well played by QTV there.
How to outplay, says QTV.
Yes. It was almost a very good outplay, except Phoenix still had flash up and had to use that.
Yeah.
Levi, I think, also used flash there.
Yes, and QTV actually didn't even need to use his flash.
Yeah, he didn't even need to use his flash. His flash is still up. Although if he did use his flash,
He might be able to
might
survive,
have,
yeah.
he might have still been able to live because of his E onto the minions.
Yes. Still do take note, that's Levi getting the first blood. So the advantage there
It's
is
really good
won
for Vietnam.
by Team Vietnam.
They're up a couple hundred gold right now.
So here, looking into the itemizations, you can see that the first recipe items are being built here by our players. Look at here clearly that Draven now has his BF sword.
Wow.
Of course, there's a big damage spike onto him compared to the Ezreal's two of the goddess.
That actually does nothing for Ezreal. Chopper has not bought any damage items at all. He's going straight for that that tier into the Iceborne Gauntlet.
And
Here,
there we go.
Levi.
So here's what happened. Nice sidestep dodger by QTV. Allowing for Phoenix
Yeah.
not to connect his cocoon. When Phoenix goes out, Phoenix will repel in, but Levi is just wide not to fully connect the resonating strike, delay it, and take that execute against Levi.
Yeah. But
I think
once
that
again-
execute against Phoenix.
Yeah, once again, oh, actually, Levi gonna counter jump here. Will kick Ruben out of the way and just get out of there. Oh, Optimus actually solo killing, hiding down in the middle lane.
Wow.
Wow. Actually, going back to the bot lane itemizations, we see the Celebrity has a bunch of damage. This is the earliest Raven Spike when you get that BF sword. Meanwhile, Chopper is going straight for that Tear of the Goddess into
Yeah.
Frozen Fist, the Iceberg Gauntlet build, and that is 0 additional damage for Ezreal right now, just more mana to spam spells. But
Yeah.
if they actually try to trade right now, Celebrity with his Axis, I think, could win. Oh,
Yeah,
except
it's intuitive for... My guess would be for an Ezreal to still build damage in the form of Trinity Force
yeah,
from this Sapphire Crystal. For the
that
sheep.
could happen. Yeah,
But if he ever builds Gauntlet as well, it's okay because there's the armor bonus onto it.
definitely,
I
because
mean-
this is in an AD heavy team.
Yeah, an AD heavy team, so would be nice, especially considering that their form of engage, their hard engage is only on Lee Sin,
Yes.
and most of them are quite, go for the right click. There's the dashes though from Yasuo.
Actually,
if you are in the lane.
I wanna commend QTV here, not being greedy. He went for the Bammy Cinder. He's gonna be more of a tanky Yasuo. I think this was a popular build back early on this
Yeah.
season.
Which has been nerfed actually.
Yeah, it has been nerfed, yes. But I think he is going the less greedy route so that he won't die to Ruben in lane. Because
Yes.
as you saw, even with the Bammy Cinder, he was still taken down very low by Ruben. Irelia is just such a great dueler.
And
But,
he
yeah.
can properly deal damage despite having not to max out the... As I recall, Yasuo, the Yasuo right now, they still max out the Q before the E. Or do they max out the E
I
now?
think they maxed out the E.
The E now?
It's been that way for a while
For-
because I think
So they don't rely the damage from the Q. They went for the E. Go for those dashes.
yeah, I'm pretty sure
short
that's what
cooldowns.
happened. Oh,
Alright.
the Q connects.
So if they max out the E, the Bambi Cinder scales well.
Yeah.
Because you'll be dashing a lot and you'll be touching the minions and you'll be dealing damage.
yeah, you'll
With
be
the Bambi
proccing
Cinder like emulate or AoE damage.
Yeah, the damage coming in. But we see here Phoenix at the side was spotted out by Optimus just barely, so he will just scoot back into a safer position.
Yes. And you could see how the First Blood snowballed Levi. He's now
Yeah.
able, after the Coffee of the Summer, was able to build the Warrior's Enchantment on this Lee Sin. So I'd be expecting more presence now from this Lee Sin. He has put an arrow to go up top. Let's see how they do
Yes.
this.
Levi in the wings.
There we go.
Good coordination. That will be the kick into the last breath. It will be Ruben's last breath. Goes down. That was actually very good. Levi was there right in time for Ruben to actually go all in onto QTV.
And there are no signals from the rest of the members of Team Vietnam to ping in the Infernal Drake. So that from
Yeah.
Phoenix to solo this Infernal Drake. The big question is, can he
do it actually?
Yeah, he can if he gets the support from middle OP.
Actually, I think if he positioned his spiders better, he would be able to solo it. But that also will probably be first turret blood coming in here, trading that for the dragon.
Alright.
Yeah.
So still it's a Vietnam's win for this phase.
Yeah, a net
because
win for Vietnam.
because-
They are 2.7k gold ahead.
yeah, what they took home after the after this few minutes, 3 minutes ago, would be 1 turret, 1 kill in exchange for the Infernal Drake. Well,
Yeah.
the Infernal Drake will scale later on. We'll see. But right now on the next team fight, especially considering that these are skirmishes compositions, the Infernal Drake won't matter in the early fights. It will
Yes.
scale into the lane.
It just matters a tiny bit. It just gives
Yeah.
a little bit of damage. But
Around,
ow!
5 damage,
Yeah.
8 damage.
Wow, Optimus with just a long sword and a Tear of the Goddess doing so much damage with his piercing arrows.
And right now, 3-1 into our scoreboard. If you loop once again into the item positions, interestingly, Raven. Is this a Bloodthirster first? So there will
Maybe.
yeah, it's very likely.
Because it kind of those are the 3 items that build into a Bloodthirster. Maybe
Yeah.
you can go Bloodthirster into Berserker's Greaves. mainly because he wants to be a bit safer. He wants to ensure that he gets those, he cashes in those adoration stacks so he doesn't die. So he wants to be able to duel people with a lifesteal.
Plus, rack up shield
Yeah,
in
exactly.
such a way that he cannot be easily burst.
Exactly, and with Draven's damage, the lifesteal is just much more efficient than basically any AD carry.
That's the interesting part about the Bloodthirster now. It has evolved into, it's an offensive item,
Yeah,
but
it's
it's a
also a
pseudo-defensive
item.
item.
And there is Ron OP with a flash play. Fiddle OP will get taken down. Celebrity cashing in those adoration stacks. Beautiful, beautiful plays by Vietnam.
That's how Levi does it. This warrior
Wow.
enchantment on top of the 2 long sword are just paying off beyond the Infernal Drink.
Yeah, actually, it was Ron OP that set up that entire play. He threw the lantern back towards Levi when Levi, he flashed the exact moment that Levi took the lantern so that he wouldn't be out of the range when Levi was flying to him.
Yeah.
Then he flayed back Fiddle OP. That was a very good
Nice
thrash play. Yeah,
Yeah, very
amazing.
good trash play, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, if you look at the itemization as well of Chopper, he only has the shield here. So that's a build that, once again, it's either gonna go for the Trinity Force, go for the Gauntlets.
Yeah.
Right now, 4-1 into our scoreboard. 4K gold lead. Yes, 4K gold lead. So it is a game that, as expected, Vietnam staying control in the
Here's
bottom
a
lane.
gang by Phoenix will catch out Celebrity, but the Lantern, Dark Passage. Oh, he actually picks up another kill on the Fiddle P. QTV teleported. Ruben's teleport was down for that fight, so he wasn't able to actually respond. Just the minor mistakes from Indonesia, making sure that Vietnam just takes any lead they can.
And I think Indonesia cannot force that kind of team fights in
Yeah.
such a way that they are already behind. So maybe they would translate this playstyle onto less standard engages. Go for 4-4, go for 5-5 stacks, go for picks. Go for picks. I think it's safer. I think it's safer, especially right now that the map is getting aimed here by the Team Vietnam to become smaller and smaller and to be in their favor.
Yes, definitely. Yes, I have to commend Celebrity here. Great Draven play. He now has 2 kills and a bunch of gold in his pocket. Take note, he got those 2 kills after he got his current items, so when he backs, it will be a big
Infinity
back.
Edge.
Oh, actually, Phoenix trying to counter jungle that blue buff, but QTV dragged it far away from the repel so that he wasn't actually able to repel onto the blue buff.
So it is an Infinity Edge.
Yeah.
More standard and more expected
Yes.
compared to the
Much better,
Bloodthirster event. And it's still this, Vampiric Scepter, it still deals a
I'm
good
pretty
amount of
sure-
lifesteal
yeah, I'm
because of the
pretty sure he
Draven's bonus.
I'm pretty sure he still
Workable.
builds that into Bloodthirsty though. I was actually curious whether he'd go the duelist build or Tyler 1 build, the Yomu's Ghost Blade into the Imperial Scimitar, and then Phantom Dancer, but that's a very odd build. But
Well, it's Tyler 1.
yeah, it's Tyler 1. It's odd, but it's very powerful in 1v1 duels.
It's angrily odd.
very
one.
angry.
Tyler 1, ladies and gentlemen. And
Yeah.
also considering Lee Sin, he's starting to build defensive itemizations.
Yeah,
Right
that
now, considering what
Warriors.
is the game-changing threats in this game. Could be on Elise, could be on Oriana. Do take note that there's also a spike in the hands of the top laner here of the Garuda skills. That is Ruben with a Trinity Force. I wonder if will he go Proto Belt and Static Shiva and Infinity Edge on this area.
You know what? Actually, another interesting build is QTV.
Yep.
Actually, he has a Phantom Dancer completed, and I think he's gonna go for the Triforce. Yeah, this is the Yasuo build that.
Standard Yasuo, standard Yasuo first 4 item.
Yeah. Oh, the fancy insect by Levi gonna take down Fiddle OP. Optimus just gonna change the brush and double shockwave.
Oh.
Levi still gonna take down Chopper, running for their lives. Optimus pop the flash, and there goes Levi, gonna get queued by Ruben, and he's just gonna use a Transcendent Blaze to spot out anyone in there trying to get a kill on the Optimus. but
Yeah, so you could consider how Levi is able to, quickly pop members here
yeah.
of the Team Indonesia. But, he gets collapsed on. Still considering, that's pretty much a good amount of time before Levi went down. And that's because of the Hex Drinker.
Yeah, the
But
Hex
if-
Drinker shield was
Yeah.
extremely helpful there.
Yes. he receives the full combo from the Oriana.
Yeah.
And you know,
Still didn't get one shot.
yeah, still didn't get one shot even with a venomous bite from Elise. He still managed to survive with a sliver of health, but he's gonna die
Yes.
because of the rappel, you know, the damage from Elise. Not to mention that Irelia is there, but it's paying off. I mean, all that Lee Sin needs to be done is build more defensive items. Right now, it's gonna be a serrated Dirk, goes for the offensive side, and you know, Merc Dreads. So a lot of magic resistance here. Levi not considering Chopper as a threat, and even the Irelia.
Exactly. And it's kind of weird because Irelia, Ruben here is in the best position to carry his team. He's now 2-1, 100% of the team's kills, and he's still out farming QTV in the top lane. What I actually want to mention here is that I think Celebrity might be going for a Blade of the Ruined King. He has the
Yeah.
items for it.
Yeah, my guess as well. It would be, let's see, if a Blade of the Ruined King would be picked up here by Celebrity, he gets movement speed. That's, you know, would scale as well if ever at least tries to dive him.
Yeah.
And also it would be nice against the Ezreal. Usually Blade of the Ruined King works not really against kind of a heavy damage dealer like Raven. It works on
Oh,
a...
Chains of Corruption onto
Oh my
Chopper. He will get taken down very low. Whirling Death will not take his life there though.
Yes, and once again, going back, Blade of the Ruined is built on ADC that heavily relies on attack speed,
Yeah.
much like Vayne, much like Ashe.
Yeah.
But
the thing about
the
Draven,
thing about the Ashe on the Blade of the Ruined King as well is because you want to just maximize the damage. I mean the AOE damage. You want to hit as many targets possible. That's why
Runans.
the Runans has better popularity compared to the Blade
Yeah.
of the Ruined King.
Indonesia not able to defend that tower.
Yes.
They're just getting poked down so hard by the piercing arrows.
So my guess would be is that given that there's the short sword plus long sword plus the dagger, it could be a Blade of the Ruined King still. But you know,
Yeah.
I'd suggest
It's a pretty weird Raven build.
yeah,
but
go for the Bloodthirster.
yeah, the thing about Raven is that his build is very dependent on the user.
It's a
Uh,
static
I think he's gonna build into a static ship, yes. Or a rapid fire
rapid
cannon.
fire.
could
Rapid
be.
fire cannon would be nice.
Yes, it would be a very good for Draven.
Yeah.
One big hit with an axe.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. I'd opt for the rapid fire cannon.
Yes, and yeah, the thing about Raven is that his builds are very varied. It depends on how comfortable you feel playing Raven. If you don't feel very safe, it's perfectly legitimate to just to rush a Mercurial Scimitar on him. And then just get something like a Yomu's or a Phantom Dancer to be safe.
Yes. The main difference about the rapid fire cannon and static shield is if you want additional weight gear, you go for the static shield.
Yeah, but if you want that
You know,
big hit,
The big hit,
onto other people, you want that rapid fire.
meaning you would want to have more influence during team fights.
Exactly.
A rapid fire cannon has more influence during team fights.
Yes.
Although yes, there's also the proc of the static shield onto multiple targets, but sometimes during team fights, that the one first hit matters a lot
Exactly.
compared to the
Especially
static
since,
shield proc.
oh my god, here is Phoenix gonna go down to Optimus. The Chains of Corruption is CCing him for too long.
Yeah, it's picks after
Yeah.
picks. You can see that
Actually,
what's sad here is Indonesia not making any proactive rotation in such a
Exactly.
way that they could prevent these pickoffs that's being done here
I
by
know,
Team
they're just
Vietnam.
kind of getting caught, and there is a hook onto Fiddle OP, followed by a kick and a resonating strike
Yeah.
into the death. Those are very easily avoidable mistakes. Ooh, Shockwave onto Optimus.
Levi doesn't even need to use Flash just to kick that Karma. Well, he
Yeah.
has to use Flash just to go away onto Ruben. Is this the
Yes.
signal?
But here is Celebrity going big, taking down Ruben. QTV with a wind wall there. He teleported late into the fight. Oh, Chopper. He's getting a lot of damage off. But it's still... Oh! Ow! He
There you
gets
go.
hooked! Oh, and there is Ron OP stealing that kill. Wow, actually Phoenix follow-up kill onto QTV.
Picks after picks after picks.
These are actually very avoidable things.
Yeah.
And there's another Chains of Corruption.
There you go.
There.
There's another dead sentence. There's another
There,
change
there
of
it is.
corruption.
There it is.
Yeah,
But
that-
he does manage to pick off Optimus before he dies to Ron OP.
Of course,
Once again,
this is the Vietnam team being complacent as they overstay here
Yeah.
in the mid lane. But still, they're managing to take picks, and you know, it's like Oh, I'm not sure if whether the Indonesia has lost faith in, winning this game.
And
They
Ruben
need to
is
proactively
here.
rotate.
Stunned. Celebrity will go down to the queue. Shut down on the Draven.
And it seems Indonesia still has the fight. Ruben being wise to teleport and cut off Ruben.
Yes, and there's a rapid fire can.
Yeah, gonna go for the punishment against Ruben to cut off Celebrity. And there's the punishment onto Celebrity being, shut down.
Out there.
Rapid fire cannon completed onto Celebrity. So the Vampiric Scepter is just an intro item.
Yeah,
Introductory
it
item.
helped him.
Yes. So there go what happened. Right now it's supposed to be the a normal command would be to ask the members of Team Vietnam to fall back. I think this is the part where Celebrity was supposed to be picked off by the Irelia after the teleport. So 12-5, ladies and gentlemen, so 7-kill lead on top of an 8K gold lead against the LoL Garena series of Team Indonesia.
Wow, look at the.
So it's a gauntlet
Yeah. Oh.
on Ezreal. Yes.
Will get on here.
Get caught.
Oh, he
It's always
gets
get
kicked
caught.
out.
It's always get caught.
Yeah, Indonesia just getting caught left, right, and center in,
Yeah.
in these fights. It's very hard for them to retaliate because of the big lead that Vietnam has. Optimus actually does so much damage with the piercing arrows.
But they have to take note. They can stall this game.
Exactly.
Even though the scaling falls into the hands of Team Vietnam because of the Yasuo, because of the Draven, still,
They can still snow.
they can just stall. They can just stall. I mean, you clearly know you have a very bad idea or blurry idea how to win the game. At least if you have an idea how to lose the game, just prevent that idea. Just prevent that idea.
Exactly.
Right now, they can stall in such a way that they have the wave here to, shove lanes in the form of high ding dongs or Yana. And they have the pokes. They can still fight if
They can
ever a
still fight.
dive has been done. And if a dive has been done, if any force engage has been done here by Team Vietnam, equilibrium strike, man.
That's true.
Yeah. They have a
Actually, Ruben is going to have to transform himself into the carry.
Yeah.
He has 3 of the team's 5 kills. He
Another
has
pick.
gone for the Blade of the Ruined King. Compliment his Triforce. Celebrity, though, gonna dual shopping here a bit. Meanwhile, QTV 0-2-3, he has gone for that tankier Yasuo build with a Cinder. He's gonna go for that Sunfire Cape after he completed his Frozen Mallet and his Phantom Dance. So that's actually a very good split pushing Yasuo build because he's tanky enough that he will draw 2 or 3 people with him if he wants to stop.
Old Yasuo build. This is
Yeah,
even a
it's pretty
nerf done
old, yeah.
build, but
It's
it's
very
working
nerf.
so well in this game.
Exactly. It's only because here it is, the duel between Ruben and QTV. That Blade of the Ruined King doing work. QTV has to flash out there, but if Ruben is smart, he'll be able. Oh, but actually, QTV trying to juke him out. Doesn't know that he was spotted. Will just kind of try to run away. He has no
Yep.
escape here.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hiding Dog might just run him down, but no,
He's gonna
goes to the
escape.
minions. He's gonna escape, actually. He's out of there. He just went later, CY at side. Oh, but here's middle OP tethering. He knew that he wouldn't get that kill because of the wind ball, but oh, he dashes. Will he actually get out? No, he's the one who will be told to.
You
CY
cannot-
at side.
You cannot win ball a tether.
Can't win all that tether. Very
Just-
smart play from
The
OP.
tether is a targeted skill.
Yeah. That was a very smart play from Fiddle OP right there. But Ruben, we saw the damage potential he had compared to QTV.
Yes, man. And back into this game right now, it's like
Hooks
it's-
once
man.
again on the Phoenix. Oh, the Shockwave taking Ron OP for a little ride there.
What's
but
happening is in this game is like, oh, there's a hook. Oh, somebody gets peak.
Yup.
Oh, somebody gets the CC.
It's very weird because you usually don't see that many things that happen. But Ruben, he's gonna take down Ron OP here. He's gonna be 1v3. He gets kicked and the resonating strike didn't kill him, but there.
Oh, nicely done by Optimus.
Piercing arrow for the last hit by Optimus. See, this is what happens. People just keep getting picked off one by one, and this is so weird, especially for a competitive match.
Yes, man, but right now with Vietnam, with those series of pickups,
They're gonna go straight
Yeah.
for the Baron.
a few moments ago, a lot of pickups actually. Vietnam aims to take their first battle of the game.
At 27 minutes, oh, the Chains of Corruption.
Phoenix,
Phoenix,
able to
will be
hit,
able to
he's
rappel into the pillar. Then he
Nope.
will just go down to Celebrity, cashing out more Adoration stacks. This is a big, big Draven. Welcome to the League of
Draven.
Draven.
27 minutes into this game. Doesn't even matter if they don't have any Infernal Drake. They can
Yes.
rely on the Cloud Drake. They can aim for any split push here. If ever Vietnam wants to methodically finish this game. Interestingly, Yasuo is 0-3-4.
0-3-4. And normally Yasuo, oh, Celebrity once again going to take down Hiding Dong, solo killing him. Once again, League of
Draven.
Draven.
254, 5-1-1. Bloodthirster is now completed. Let's see.
But Ruben will take him
Nicely
down.
done.
The stun, the CC is just too much for our little Raven right here. But will Ruben actually live? He will get knocked up last breath. Optimus with the last hit for the kill. Actually, Optimus has a lot of the kills of Team Vietnam here. Just being the Oh, the kick from Levi. He will follow up that resonating strike. Has a flash out. Windball from saving a lot of damage from Vietnam.
Oh,
There's
Optimus.
the auto attack for the last hit. Once again, Optimus killing spree. Phoenix can go down to Levi. Wow, there's just so many. Indonesia's just getting killed left and right all the time.
And there has been
And there's the inhibitor.
there's been none. No proactive rotation. As a team, that has been done here.
Yeah, this kind of
why-
feels like, oh, shut down that Optimus.
that has been done here by Indonesia.
Yeah.
What's actually the one who's actually doing something, you know, at the very least would be
Yeah.
Ruben.
Yeah, because he has to carry this game. I think he's gonna go for probably Sterex here or a frozen mallet, because it's just so hard for to actually carry this game. He can't even dash over the wall because he has no vision. But Levi will be able to get out 4 seconds, and he
Ah.
will just recall out of there. Wow, this
Powered recall.
look at QTV though. He is 0-6-3. Just a typical Yasuo.
Derp. Derp QTV.
He actually
Could even die to the ground.
he
man.
might actually die to the ground if he gets it already. He has to get out of the jungle because his
QTV is actually one of the popular players from Vietnam.
yeah.
He even played actually in he already played in an all-star event.
This is so
The
funny.
full all-star event.
It's so funny because this just kind of reminds me of a solo queue Yasuo.
Yeah.
0-6-3 gets carried by game, says easy GG
I was
in all chat.
I was saying that this Yasuo is being very effective in this game in a sense that it's not really dragging the whole team down.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if the KD is 0-3-6.
Yeah, it's because he's getting carried by his team.
Yeah,
like
and-
any other typical solo queue
And he's
Yasuo.
synergizing. I mean, with the Lee Sin, with the
Ooh.
Thresh. You know,
There.
the shot didn't get completed after that engage. So
Yeah, he died instantly.
yes, nicely done there by the team.
Good
the-
save also.
from Vietnam. Yes. And there's another pick up on the side rush there. I think Ruben gets sliced. He tries to chase someone down. But
Yeah,
of course,
he actually got the kill on the Celebrity.
you have to respect the Baron buff.
Definitely. But right now, Vietnam is trying to push down the top inhib turret of
Yeah.
Indonesia. They're not able to actually do much to to defend this because of the Baron buffs have run out at this moment.
Yeah.
But it's looking very grim for Team Indonesia.
30 minutes into the game, ladies and gentlemen. 19-8. I have a very interesting zone, but it is actually a game that is, you know, sealed.
It's basically
It's actually whose fate
yeah.
is sealed right now because
The
it's a game
deal
for the
is
taking.
over.
It's a game for the taking by Vietnam.
Exactly, and Ruben is going full
Yeah.
offensive right
The
there.
options for Indonesia to stall this one, as I mentioned, it's the win conditions here for Indonesia is not clear, but at least they could prevent the losing conditions in such a way that they have the wave clear, they have the pokes, they can hide under their turrets, wait out for forced engages done here by
Yeah,
Team
until
Vietnam
such a time that the gold lead becomes
Yeah.
irrelevant.
in the
Because-
form of Lee Sin.
Yeah, right now it is Vietnam is 14,000 gold in the lead.
Yes, and the
They
big problem
have.
here is that it's just a matter of they're getting caught up by the death sentence and the corrupted change. That's the big problem. here.
Corrupted chains, death sentence, and they're even getting caught out by there we go. Corrupted chains, but they're also getting caught out by the resonating strike. Levi has done some very flashy insect plays this game. Oh, yeah. And there's a split with Yasuo. There's the kick back at the stage. Hiding got Celebrity. He's gonna beat a Celebrity. Draven double kill. Will it be more? That's a 3-man shockwave. Triple kill. Flashes out. Will this actually be? Oh, that was so close. Actually, I think.
Look at QTV. Actually, I did not see anyone get sliced here by QTV. I mean, this is a game for the taking by Team Vietnam, so I'm just interested who will close this
Whoa,
game.
actually double kill.
Yeah,
by Ruben.
double kill down there by Ruben. Nicely done, but still you have to respect there's a lot of damage.
Celebrity!
Yes!
Will he go get
League of
this
Draven!
one?
League of
Just
Draven!
one more hit. Yes! And it
Yes.
will be Draven.
375.
Double kill. That is a technical penta.
Yes,
Unofficial penta for Celebrity for the win.
Yes, it's a matter of time actually. Like I'd say 10 minutes ago, it's a matter of time before Vietnam closes that game.
Yeah.
Because those picks earlier in the mid game from the death sentence, from the corrupted chains are very punishing.
Yes.
Are very punishing. The weakness of the Vietnam's composition is they lack tank. All of them are snowball champions.
Well,
If they don't snowball, things will go south. That's just the
Arguably,
story. But what happened was they just snowballed.
yeah, they did. But arguably, Yasuo was actually building.
Well,
semi-tank.
Yasuo was actually building tank.
Yeah.
That's why he went 0.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
for
why he
this
went
game,
zero.
he won 0 3
36.
4. He went for an outdated, an
Very
outdated
I
build
just,
on Yasuo.
yeah, I just feel like QTVs, like those solo queue Yasuos, they go 0-3 and
Yeah,
6,
you may
and
want
then they
to
win the game anyway.
You may want to revisit I think the last 5 patch or I think last 6 patch. I think somewhere there's the Yasuo nerf on
Yes.
in the tank Yasuo. It was
Yeah.
actually popularized. I'm not sure, but it was usually being used by Zion Spartan by
Oh,
the Counter
yes.
Logic Gaming. It is his pocket picks.
Darshan,
Yeah, you
yeah.
can check that video on the League of Legends YouTube channel.
True, true.
So that was a popular pick, but right now it has been
It has been
nerfed.
nerfed because of the Frozen Mallet.
Yes,
I believe.
the popular Yasuo build right now is Yasuo support.
I don't want to play with this guy in solo queue, but anyway, congratulations to Team Vietnam
Team
on
Vietnam,
that
yeah.
amazing win. The first Draven I've ever seen competitively, and that was such a great game to
And
show it.
I believe Team Vietnam already qualified for the playoffs with this win.
Yeah, yeah, they have. That's
They have secured a spot now in the playoffs.
probably. Wait,
Yes. They now 3C.
No, they're 2-1.
2-1. All right.
2-1.
All right. So
So
2-1.
they could still get a tiebreaker or something.
Yeah, if
they
ever team, I think the group for Vietnam was with Malaysia. If Malaysia went 2-1 as well, it is.
Yeah.
But there's gonna be a head-to-head, of course, match-up in this group
lose.
stage.
Yeah. But anyway, that was game 2.
Yes.
Another amazing game in the Garena All-Star Championship. We have been your shoutcasters. My name is G10 coming at you, and this is Shinbu with a 1 for an I. And we'll see you in game 3. Play Fiddle OP will get taken down. Celebrity cashing in those adoration stacks by Phoenix will catch out Celebrity, but the Lancer Dark Passage. Oh, he actually picks up another kill onto Fiddle OP. QTV teleported. Fancy insect by Levi gonna take down Fiddle OP. Optimus just the change Russian double shockwave.
Oh.
Levi still gonna take down Chopper running for their lives. Optimus pop the goes, pop the flash, and there goes Levi gonna get used by Ruben. And he's just gonna use a transcendent.
This is the signal.
But here is Celebrity going big, taking down Ruben. QTZ with a wind wall there. He teleported right into the fight. Oh, Chopper. He's getting a lot of damage off. But it's still. Oh! Ow!
There you
Gets
go.
hooked! Oh, and there is Ron OP stealing that kill. Wow, actually, Phoenix follow-up kill onto QTZ.
Picks after picks after picks.
These are actually very avoidable things.
Yeah.
And there's another change of
There you go. There's another dead sentence. There's another
There
change
it
of
is.
corruption.
There it is.
Yeah,
But
there-
he does manage to pick up Optimus before he dies to Ron OP.
Nicely
Down
done.
The stun. The CC is just too much for Raven right here. But will Ruben actually live? He will get knocked up last breath. Optimus with the last hit. For the kill. Actually, Optimus has a lot of the kills from Team Vietnam here. Oh, the kick from Levi. He will follow up that resonating strike. Has a flash out. Good ball. Taking a lot of damage from.
Oh,
There's the auto attack for the last hit. Once again, Optimus killing streak. Phoenix can go down to Levi. Wow, there's just so many. It's just getting killed left and right all the time.
And there has been
And there's an inhibitor.
there's been no proactive rotation. As a team, that has been done here.
Yeah,
Ah,
this kind of
why-
feels like, oh, shut down that Optimus.
that has been done here by Indonesia. What's actually the one, or the one who's actually doing something, you know, at the very least would be
And
Ruben.
Gospel, there's the kick back in the face. Ooh, celebrity. He's gonna be that celebrity. Raven double kill. Will it be more? That's a 3-man shockwave. Triple kill. Flashes out. Will this actually be? Oh, that was so close. Actually, I think.
Look at QTV actually. I did not see anyone get sliced here by QTV. But this is a game for the taking by Team Vietnam. So I'm just interested who will close this
Whoa,
game.
actually double kill.
Yeah, double kill got there by Red. Nicely done, but still you have to respect there's a lot of damage.
Celebrity!
Yes!
Will he go get
League of
this
Raven!
one?
League of
Just
Raven!
one more hit. Yes! And it will be Raven.
375.
Double kill. That is a technical penta.
Yes,
Unofficial penta for Celebrity for the win.
yes, it's a matter of time actually.